Hello, everybody, and welcome back.
Today's featured entrepreneur is going to tell us where we can travel. Welcome, Peter Wells, CEO of Dragonslayer Travel.
Hey, Peter.
Hey guys, how are you?
Good. Look,
today?
I have my American passport, but now I can't really go anywhere. Where can we Americans go outside of the country right now?
Yeah, it's a great question, and that's one of the reasons we built Dragonslayers, to answer that question. So there actually are 27 countries that you can travel to without going through a quarantine when you get there. A lot of Caribbean destinations, there's European destinations. You can go to Turkey, Croatia, St. Lucia, Aruba, Bermuda, Tahiti, the Maldives. I could go on and on. And these are places that have been lightly touched by the coronavirus.
What if we have to go to another state that has higher cases? How do we do that safely?
Oh, that's almost more complex than the international travel scene. We've got all those travel restrictions and updates in the app as well. So we cover 124 countries, 50 states. And you guys in New York know all too well that it is tough to go and visit New York, and sometimes for New Yorkers to go visit elsewhere. There's a recent edict by the governor in New York who said, hey, if you travel outside of New York, you're going to actually have to quarantine if you go to certain places. That complexity, we try and unravel that complexity with the app.
Well, I see that. It's very intuitive, it's very pretty, and it has these safe rankings. Break it down to me. How does the app make traveling easier during this time, and how do you actually, and what does it mean if something scores 96 out of 100?
Right, and what we did with that is we worked with a CDC epidemiologist to help come up with a algorithm to help people know where it's safer to go. It's sort of like temperature. You can say it's hot outside, but what does that mean? For people in the South, hot is different than for people who live in maybe Montana.
Correct.
So what we did is we do a relative score, and that's really allows people to say, hey, a 96 is better than a 46, and those are on relative basis. And it means that based on how that country has or state has done against the COVID-19 pandemic, we give them a higher score. Let me give you an example. Sure. Bermuda's done a great job. They score, I believe, 100 today. We update these scores daily, and they've actually had only 180 cases for the entire 6 months of pandemic. And they've been open for 2 months to travelers. So they've done a good job in the first place of controlling COVID, and they've allowed travelers in and controlled any infections coming through the airports.
Okay, Peter, I want to get this right for our viewers. When you say you work with a CDC epidemiologist, do you mean a current one or a former one? Do you have a partnership? You have a partnership with the CDC?
Well, I should say he's advising us. The CDC has to be kind of arm's length with private companies, but he is on the COVID-19 task force, and he actually consulted with us as we put together this information, trying to make sure it's relevant, accurate, and it reflects accurately the conditions on the ground.
Yeah, got it. Thanks for clarifying that.
Sure.
Look, a lot of jobs in the travel industry have been lost. Airlines, I have friends who work in the airlines, just not a pretty picture. How soon do you think these jobs will come back?
Well, that's the $64,000 question. Travel is actually 10% of the entire world's GDP. So when I was sitting in April, because I used to be a travel company, and we pivoted to become this travel information company, and I thought, what is it going to take for me to go travel again? And I would need to know where I can travel, under what conditions, do I have to get tested twice, 3 times? And then number 3, what's it going to be like when I get there? Are the beaches closed or are they open? Do I have to stay on the resort or can I travel around? That information is very difficult to find. I firmly believe that if we have people look at applications like, and I think we're pretty unique, Dragonslayer, where they can get information about how to travel and travel safely, I think it will bring the travel industry back. It will take some time, but you're seeing a pretty nice growth over the last couple months in both domestic and international travel.
All right. Thank you so much for those insights, and thank you for joining us today, Peter.
Yeah. Thank you for being here,
guys.
Peter.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. And thank you for watching. We'll see you back here soon.